Shalom, shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, shalom, Israel's go ahead and get this started.
Daniel, State Farm offer surprisingly great rates to everyone. Sure you do. You want to meet the Queen? I'm not dressed for that. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Sinking sidewalks, driveways, and concrete floors aren't just eyesores. They're serious.
Shalom, bro. What's good with you, bro? Just letting this thing warm up.
to like all my clothes.
There is no In the previous video, we covered two cases of national identity theft: Greco-Roman Egypt and the Sidonians. In this video, we'll focus on Edom and the Khazars. There are 5 points that we'll cover in this video: how Edom came to be known as Jews, how Edom rose to power over the Yahudim during the Roman era, how Edom spread into Europe and gave birth to the Sephardic Jewish community, original phenotype of the Sephardic Jews before intermixing with the European population. And finally, that of Edom and the Khazars intermixing. The book of Shemuel Bet, 2 Samuel chapter 8, verses 13 to 15. And David made a name for himself when he returned from striking 18,000 Arameans in the valley of Salt. And he put watch posts in Edom. Throughout all Edom he put watch posts. And all the Edomites became David's servants. And Yahuwah saved David wherever he went. And David reigned over all of Israel. David was doing right ruling and righteousness to all his people. Strabo, Geography, Book 16, 2:34. As for Judea, its western extremities towards Cassius are occupied by the Idumeans and by the lake. The Idumeans are Nabateans, but owing to sedition, they were banished from there, joined the Judeans, and shared in the same customs. Josephus, Jewish Antiquities, Book 13, Chapter 9, Paragraph 1. Hyrcanus took also Dora and Marissa, cities of Idumea, and subdued all the Idumeans, and permitted them to stay in that country if they would circumcise their genitals and make use of the laws of the Jews. And they were so desirous of living in the country of their forefathers that they submitted to the use of circumcision and of the rest of the Jewish ways of living. At which time, therefore, this befell them, that they were hereafter no other than Jews. Josephus, Jewish Antiquities, Book 15, Chapter 7, Paragraph 9. Costobarus was an Idumean by birth, and one of principal dignity among them, and one whose ancestors had been priests to the coast, whom the Idumeans had formerly esteemed as God. But after Hyrcanus had made a change in their political government, and made them receive Jewish customs and law, Herod made Costobarus governor of Idumea and Gaza, and gave him his sister Salome to wife. And this was upon the slaughter of his uncle Joseph, who had that government before, as we have related already. When Costobarus had gotten to be so highly advanced, it pleased him and was more than he hoped for, and he was more and more puffed up by his good success. And in a little while he exceeded all bounds, and did not think it fit to obey what Herod as their ruler commanded him, or that the Idumeans should make use of Jewish customs or be subject to them. Josephus, Jewish Antiquities, Book 15, Chapter 7, Paragraph 10. But when the king knew the thing, by his sister's information, he sent men to the places where he had the intimation they were concealed, and ordered both them and those that were accused as guilty with them to be killed, insomuch that there were now none at all left of the family of Hyrcanus. And the kingdom was entirely in Herod's own power, and there was nobody remaining of such dignity as could put a stop to what he did against the Jewish laws. The book of Hazon, Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. I know your works, and pressure, and poverty, yet you are rich, and the blasphemy of those that say that they are Yahudim and are not, but are a congregation of Satan. The book of Hazon, Revelation, chapter 3, verse 9. See, I am giving up those of the congregation of Satan, who say that they are Yahudim and are not, but lie. See, I'm making them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. The book of Malachi, chapter 1, verses 1 through 4. The message of the word of Yahuwah to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said Yahuwah. But you ask, in what way have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, declares Yahuwah? And I have loved Jacob, but I have hated Esau, and have laid waste his mountains and his inheritance for the jackals of the wilderness. If Edom says, we have been beaten down, let us return and build the ruins. Yahuwah of hosts said, thus let them build, but I tear down, and they shall be called border of wrongness, the people against whom Yahuwah is enraged forever. A few key points to remember. The Edomites were conquered by the Yahudim and permitted to stay in the land if they would adopt the laws and culture of the Yahudim. The Edomites were idol worshippers, whose chief god was Kos, or chaos. Some of his symbols were an eagle, bull, and lightning bolt, similar to that of the Greco-Roman Zeus. Edom is called the congregation of Satan by Yahuwah, so the true identity of the god Kos of the Edomites is that of Satan. Edom pretended to be Yahudim while hating the laws and culture of Josephus, Jewish Antiquities, Book 14, Chapter 1, Paragraph 2. So when he had sent a message to his brother with him about agreeing the matters between them, he laid aside his hostility to him on these conditions: that Aristobulus should be king, that he should live without meddling with public affairs, and quietly enjoy the estate he had acquired. When they had agreed upon these terms in the temple, and had confirmed their agreement with oaths, and the giving of one another their right hands, and embracing one another in the sight of the whole multitude, they departed, the one Aristobulus to the palace, and Hyrcanus as a private man to the former house of Aristobulus. But there was a certain friend of Hyrcanus, an Idumean called Antipater, who was very rich, and in his nature an active and rebellious man, who was at enmity with Aristobulus, and had differences with him on account of his goodwill to Hyrcanus. It is true that Nicholas of Damascus says that Antipater was the stock of principal Jews who came out of Babylon into Judea. But that assertion of his was to gratify Herod, who was his son, and who, by certain revolutions of fortune, came afterward to be king.
Just stop right there. Just hold it right there. I want to point this out. He said, it is true that Nicolaus of Damascus says that Antipater was of the stock of principal Jews who came out of Babylon into Judea. Okay, that right there should have hit you real hard, because number one, there is no prophecy. And if I'm wrong, somebody cite me book, chapter, and verse. There is no prophecy of Edom ever going into Babylon. And if there is, somebody cite me book, chapter, and verse. See, this is what these dudes get mixed up at right here, right here. See, these Jews who came out of Babylon, see, when they use that word, that doesn't mean Israelite. That's not what that means. See, this is where they keep getting tripped up at, man. What's this? 2 Kings 17. Okay. Now watch. Let's just do this. 2 Kings 17:15. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land, and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel into Assyria and placed them in Hala and Harbor and by the river Gozan and in the city of the Medes. So understand what he's telling you, what this is telling you right here is that the Israelites that God took from this kingdom of Assyria, he didn't take them to one place. He took them to a few places. And this is the city of the Medes. This is on the other side of Babylon. Period. Okay? For it was so that the children of Israel had sinned against Yahweh, the Elohim, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt under the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had feared their gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel and the kings of Israel, which they had made. Who is that talking about? That is talking about the Canaanites. They are the people who got thrust out of the land before when on our way in. Not the Babylonians, not the Egyptians, the Canaanites. See that? And it says, and walked in the statutes of the heathen. See, this is what I think some of us ain't pointing out, and we finna tie this all up. We were never supposed to embrace that Hamite religion. And for anybody who hasn't caught wind of it, the Hamite religion would be literally the complete actions that doomed us. Okay? Look at this. 2 Kings 17:19. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against Yahweh the Elohim. And they built them high places in all of their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. Okay? He's talking about the outside, the inside. And they set up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen, whom Yahweh carried away before them and brought wicked things to provoke Yahweh to anger. So wait a minute. For anybody who lost place, let's go back up. And they walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom Yahweh had cast out before the children of Israel and the kings of Israel, which they had made. That is that Hamite religion. This is all what the Hamite religion entails. They set up, verse 10, and they set up images and groves in every high hill under every tree. Right? He's telling you. Now look, and this man, and it just keeps on going. See, the Hamite religion is anti-creator. Let's look it down. 14. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but harden their necks. You know, that whole still doing Christmas thing, all of that old Hamite religion, right? It says, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in Yahweh their Elohim. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that they had made with their fathers and his testimonies, which testified against them. Why? Because we signed the covenant. And we prayed that if we broke it, that we would be cursed. And they followed vanity and became vain and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom Yahweh had changed them. Concerning whom Yahweh had charged them that they should not do like them. That is the Canaanite and that Egyptian religion. And they left all the commandments of Yahweh the Elohim and made them molten images, even 2 calves. Now, you know this is the Egyptian religion, right? I'm going to show you how this all ties in. And they made a grove and worshiped all the host of heaven and served Baal. We're going to come back to that. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire. And they used divination and enchantments and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of Yahweh to provoke him to anger. Let me see. All right. Howbeit, verse 29, howbeit every nation made gods of their own and put them in the houses of the high places, which the Samaritans had made. Now, I'm going to show y'all something about this. This word Samaritans. It took me a while to catch this. Had made every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt. The Samaritan, and I'm loving the title. Names change. See, those are Canaanites under a different name, and we're gonna get to that. Verse 30. And the men of Babylon made Sakabim, I burned at that. And the men of Cuttah made Noragel, and the men of Hamath made Asamah. These are all Babylonian gods, and these are all the Babylonians that's clearly being talked about. See, that's what keeps on tripping people up. Edom never went to Babylon. And I'm not saying that to destroy this brother and his work. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm simply pointing out is the simple name changes that have been applied in history. And now watch this. See, watch this. Now, I'm going one more time. And remember, this is wrong. And I don't care where this come from. It says, is it true that Nicholas of Damascus said that the Antipas was of the stock of the principal Jews who came out of Babylon? See, that's the thing. The people that came out of Babylon with us was not all us. Let's go to this. This is one that everybody, if I'm wrong. No. Ezekiel 9. Sorry. We're gonna end up going back to Ezekiel 2 because he's gonna help tie this together. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's go to Ezra 9. Right. Let's go to Ezra 9. Mixed marriages. Why you think that's so important? Now, when the things were done, the princes came to me saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorite. We know this is a big no-no. Okay? Big no-no. And ain't this the famous one? Everybody keeps loving to run to this, to Ezra 9, right? I think I need to jump on up to Ezra 13. Now keep in mind, Ezra and Nehemiah, we know for a fact, nobody has to be overly a biblical scholar to understand Ezra and Nehemiah. These are the prophets returning from Babylon, right? And they're clearly telling you, excuse me, and they're clearly telling you the same thing. They're clearly telling you that these Canaanites who are clearly mixed in Babylon are the ones who came back. And when they came back, where is it? Forgive me. What? And I know me and the brother went over this. So let's just hit this. This is Nehemiah 13. See that? Tobiah expelled and the temple cleansed. All praise to Yahweh for this. Why is Tobiah kicked out? Because Tobiah is a Canaanite. Watch this. And me and the brother went over this. Okay, this is Ezra. This is Nehemiah 13:10. And I perceived that the portion of the Levites had not been given them. For the Levites and the singers that did the work were fled everyone to his field. Remember, they're only supposed to be at the temple and in the temple. Look at these tithes restored. Look at these highlighted titles. Tobiah expelled and the temple cleansed. These are Canaanites, y'all. See, remember in Judges, let me see, I believe it's Judges 4. I believe it's Judges 4. I ain't got my book open. I'm just going off. On the 10th. Yeah, this raw, y'all. Ain't no rehearsal. I'm building this up for a reason, y'all. Just walk with me, y'all. Walk with me. Judges, the 2. Okay, well, let's just start. Judges 2:2. And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of the land. It says, ye shall throw down all the altars, and you shall, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? Therefore I said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as a thorn in your side, and their God shall be as a snare to you. You see that? Why is that? Because we did not kick them out. Man, that's so powerful. That's so deep. Verse 2 and 10. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation, and after them which knew not Yahweh, nor the works which they had done, which he had done for Israel. Isn't that not like today? What's the problem with us? Most of our parents and grandparents, they didn't know the real name. They only went off what their fathers taught them, right? What is this verse showing? Over a progression of time, history can be lost. And this is why the book tells us to raise our children up in these ways. If not, they will grow up and not know them. Watch this. Watch this. Judges 2:12. And they forsook Yahweh, their God of their forefathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed their gods. And the gods of the people were not, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked Yahweh to anger. And they forsook Yahweh and served Baal and Asherah, right? We're going to come back to that. We'll come back to that. Point I'm trying to hit on, the guys who came out of Babylon wasn't just us. We had some people who came with us, right? Shalom, check on my brothers. Shalom, y'all. We had some brothers who came out there with us, right? So I got some visuals too, y'all. And so you got a few people, just like how your man came on the panel the other night, and he was still trying to misassociate us with those people. I got something for y'all. I got something real special for y'all. And be ready, because a lot of guys are going to start working overtime to dispel this, but they won't be able to. I want y'all to see this. Boom. All praise to Yahweh. See this? Now, I want y'all to see this for your own self. This is a book called Races of the Old Testament, and it was wrote in 1891. Okay, I'm going to let that sit right there, because I want you to let that sit in your mind. 1891. This ain't Tahar. This ain't Yohana. This ain't none of those niggas. Okay, So when people say, "Oh man, well that's just because everybody on this Hebrew Israelite kick right now," this book was wrote in 1891. I want y'all to keep that in your mind because I already got something real good out this book. So what I just need to do, forgive me if y'all see anything folly-ish. You know they put a lot of folly when you pull up stuff. I want to show y'all something from that book, and this is gonna confound a lot of them. So watch this. Let's confound a lot of them. I took the liberty to go ahead and set up some of these pictures. Come on, man. Always doing some funny business, man. I mean, they always doing it. Stay patient, y'all. Boy, I tell you, they're always doing some funny business, boy. Okay. I took the liberty of going ahead and putting some of this into the chat. Now we're gonna go back before I click on this. I want y'all to see again this book called Races of the Old Testament. What I went ahead and did is I downloaded some of the pages from the PDF so we can go ahead and get some images and some paragraphs. 1891, right? So watch. I'm waiting to hear them come to spell this. Now watch what this author wrote in 1891. Chapter 1. Egypt, first colonized from the northeast, the great ritual, the soul after death. We know this about Egypt. The 3 Niles, it says the first immigrants from Shinar, to Egypt, it says was peopled from the east, the races of men, the Shemites, the Negroes. I'm going to read that again. This book is wrote one more time. 1891, right? Now look what this author wrote, 1891. He said the Shemites, the Negroes, and the Hamites. It says the 4 races of man, the nation of the northwest, descendants of Ham, Mizraim, Canaan. It says ancient limits of geographical knowledge. Let's just stop. I'm going back up one more time. The Shemites, the Negroes. Now, I know that pissed a whole lot of people off right there because they swear up and down you something else. They swear up and down you a Canaanite. But yet, in 1891, some motherfucker understood that the Shemites were Negroes. Not Semites, Shemites. The Negroes, right? So watch this. Watch this. All right. So I had to, in order to get some of these images, I had to go ahead and set them up like this. And we're going to come past some of this stuff. And this will start dropping them. Judah sinned, letting the white man into Canaan. You flee back into Africa. Now, wait a minute. We all can go right to 2 Kings. And it said we all ran into Africa because we didn't want to fight the Chaldean, right? Learned brothers know this, right? Okay. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of these people who are the real Canaanites. Now, what does that say? An Amorite. Look at them faces. These are the depictions in Kemet, right? Amorite. Hittite. You see that? Amorite, Hittite. I want that to sit there. Just keep in mind, from this book says that the Shemites are the Negroes, right? But yet, dumbass niggas today will still try to tell you, oh man, that's y'all. So I'm going to do something for y'all. Watch this. Don't try to hide it now. Oh no, 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 no. See, these people are so good. You got to be able to type it right up. So wait, give me 1 second. 1 second. Because I got some old pictures. Come on, come on, come on. I might bring some brothers on, man. Some brothers bring their word through while I'm trying to pick this stuff up. This really wasn't. This really wasn't a shared one. This was just one. Like I said, I've been working on this, so y'all bear with me. Give me a second. Let me see. If any brothers want to come on, if you got verses or anything, come on. I'm definitely trying to keep this. I'm definitely trying to keep this to the topic at hand. I'm dropping the link now. If any brothers want to come on, because I'm trying to find this video. And I know I still got some people in here. And I don't so much care. Like, I'm going to be quite honest. Like I said, come on, please be careful where you tread. That's to anybody. Because this is a lesson. So if you step on the panel and you have stuff, I hope you have your evidence with you. I try to keep my panels balanced and fair for all the people that view it. So if you come on here with a claim, make sure you got some evidence behind it. Let me see. Let me find that one again. It's a guy with this book from Egypt. Nope. Yeah, see, I gotta go find that. Oh, there you go. All praises to Yahweh. See, they don't never put the truth on the top. They never do that. All praises to Yahweh. I want you to show what this brother showed.
Shalom. My name is O, which
I
is
know,
the
I
Hebrew
bet.
word for light. If you already knew this, you must have a special.
Yeah, I bet y'all pull up these people speaking our language while I'm doing this video on accident too.
Representation, the art itself. This is still the archaeology of the Arabian Gulf. Now we're going to the Oxford Encyclopedia of Archaeology in the Near East. I think this is volume 1 where we get confirmation. It is volume 1. So let's look inside. Right now I'm getting to the page. I've made a few notes quickly. All those people talking that black Semite, they won't be able to do so anymore.
Whoa. Did you hear what he just said? He said this is for all the people who are talking about black Semites. You will not be able to do that anymore. Now watch what he show you.
110.
Canaanites. Now, boom. These are not fucking melanated people. These are not melanated people. You see this? See what my man's showing you, right? See, I hate to show you, I hate to tell you, that's the Chinese right there. You know, they always keep that one little lock and they got the band and you see they haircut and real straight. See, this ain't melanated people. You know what the fuck you looking at. These are not melanated. Show me an afro on here. And show me a nigga nose. These noses, man, these are not melanated people. Real quick. And this for all the, forgive my French guys, it's really got me fired up. This for all the guys who keep getting lost right here. And for the ones who got bugged out right here. Ezekiel 16. Amorites and Hittites, right? You show the brother showing you who the Canaanites are, right? Showing you what the Canaanites look like. These are not fucking melanated people. For all the people who keep getting tripped up, here you go. Again, the word of Yahweh came. This is Ezekiel 16. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations and say, Thus said Adonai Yahweh Elohim. I'm sorry, unto Jerusalem. Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. Okay. As for thy nativity, in the day that thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither was it washed in water to supply thee. It says, thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. No, I pitied thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee. Thou wert cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person on the day thou was born. Somebody show me Jacob being thrown out into the field, Abraham, Isaac. Somebody show me Jacob being thrown out to the field, and his daddy and his mama never see him again. Because this child that's talked about right here, between these two tribes, they said that child was thrown completely out. So how is it that y'all saying this is Jacob when this one clearly don't even know his parents? And this is why prophet Ezekiel is telling him, yes, this is a parable. Yes, this is a parable. But remember, Ezekiel only is in Jerusalem in a vision. He did not go back. He is giving a vision, it was prophecy, it was a parable, it was it all. He's giving these people their history. And what he was telling them is, hey, motherfucker, your mama and your daddy was two people that was cursed. Not Israel. Why? Because we keep on dealing with this. The people who was coming back to the land was Canaanites. For y'all who just can't figure it out, Canaanites also lived in Babylon. Period. Point blank, period. No, I pitied thee to do any of these things, to have compassion upon thee, but thou wert cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou was born. But yeah, bro, I'm telling you, that's what it is, man. Let's continue to look. So look, I got some more evidence, because I've been sitting on some of this. Don't get it wrong. But that one, the Shemites, I've been sitting on that. I've been sitting on that one over a year. Let's do this one. The Amorites, JewishEncyclopedia.com. So you can clearly go look this up. Philistines and Amorites are synonymous to the later expression. The Amorites were tall, handsome people with white skin and blue eyes and reddish hair. Okay, cool. So y'all still calling them melanated. Got you. That's why I said, boy, stop, man. Names change in history, y'all. These people changed their name. And in fact, if you really want to get it, the people who changed their name are the same people who Josephus clearly admit changed everybody's name, the Greeks. When the Greeks went through lands, conquering lands, they gave it the names they wanted to. The land of Africa is really called Kam or Kim. That's the name of Ham. That's his real name. They named the land Egypt and Ethiopia. Names change, y'all. This is what dudes get tripped up at. So look. We'll pull up another one. So Amorites being Nordic, and this is real blurry, so I got to read. It says, I always thought Amorites to be completely a Semitic tribe. In fact, they were and are. Remember, Semitic don't mean us. We're Shemitic. But Arthur Kemp says that the origin of the Indo-European tribe, here is what he said. I'm going to stop that again. This is the second time, and I got that book. I got that book right here in my dresser right here. What clearly says, and that's that Babylonian text I've shown many times, that the Indo-European people are Canaanites. Now that's from another white man, right? So there's 3 white men I done showed y'all who admitted that. The Amorites, this is an Indo-European tribe who invaded Asia Minor, Turkey, from the Aegean Sea around 1500 BC and were noted amongst the local people for worshiping a hammer-wielding thunder god. Wait a minute. Hold on. Whoa. Wait a minute. You mean this motherfucker? You know, the one they put on TV and they make all the cute little movies about him? Oh, this motherfucker, right? One more time. The Amorites was an Indo-European tribe who invaded Asia Minor, Turkey, from the Aegean Sea around 1500 BC and were noted amongst the local people for worshiping a hammer-wielding thunder god, obviously related to the North European Thor. Egyptian paintings of the time depict Amorites. The Egyptians called them the Amaru. For it says, as fair, light-eyed men with Nordic features who were still launching attacks into the Egyptian state as late as 1300 BC. A large number of Amorites settled in Palestine, becoming one of the first Indo-European tribes to mix. I mean, y'all, but y'all, some of y'all listen to Chris still. Some of y'all still listen to these Negrons who just cannot separate us from them. One more time. Ezekiel 16:3. And say, thus said Yahweh Elohim unto Jerusalem, thy birthplace and thy nativity as of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite and thy mother was a Hittite. Okay? I'm really in the bag today because I've been sitting watching all this shit going on. It's a folly. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to show y'all what you know what you're looking at. These are the Ionians. These are the original people of Greece before Alexander the Freak and his kinfolks took over. This is Japhet right here. Some of y'all can get that, some of y'all can't. That's Japhet. And I'm going to show you another picture of Japhet. Because I've always told you Japhet is black. Oh, let's get another picture of Japhet. See that? Today, pure black Anatolians left in modern Turkey. You know that bottom cast? That cast that's on the bottom? That's Japhet. That's not Ham. That's not Shem. That's Japhet. Now, did some of Japhet suffer the same fate? Yeah, they did. But that's a whole nother story. That's obviously another story. And some of this is so small, y'all. Y'all got to forgive me. I'm sorry. Some of this is so small. If you are that interested in this information, if you are connected to me on Facebook or on Messenger, hit me up and I will shoot y'all all of this information. But all of these pages come out of that same book called Races of the Old Testament, wrote in 1891. One more time before we move on. One more time. The races of men, the Shemites, the Negroes. Fuck, it's so hard about this, y'all. Names change over history, y'all. That's all that be about. No more, no less. I'm going to add you to the stream, brother. Shalom, shalom, bro. Shalom, shalom, bro. I'm going to bring you on to see what you got to talk about, bro. Shalom, what's good with you, though? Oh, okay, well, let me give you a second. Find yourself. So this right here is let's go to another one. Let's go to another one. Let me find something else here. Ezekiel 16. And when we go to Ezekiel 16, for anybody kind of caught up, let's go to Genesis 14 real fast. And when you go to Genesis 14, it clearly tells you who were the people who were living in Sodom and Gomorrah. And let's go to Genesis 14. All right, Genesis 14 and 10. And it says, and the vale of Sodom was full of supplements, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there, and they remained fled into a mountain. Okay, and they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their victuals and went their way. Now, who did that? Kedorlaomer. He did that. Okay, and there, verse 4, Genesis 14:8. And there went out the king of Sodom and the king of Gomorrah and the king of Amah and the king of Zeboim and the king of Bela, same as Zor, and they joined battle with them at the valley of Siddim. Siddim and Sodom, come on, y'all. You got to understand these places are literally the same. You have to understand that. You got to understand the people of Sodom and Gomorrah are Amorites, y'all. This is clearly what the Torah has always mentioned. You said they killed your stream, bro. They do that when you bring this type of information out. I definitely need y'all to share this. And I need Brother Elder Tom, when you see this, go ahead and do your thing, bro. Go ahead and document this. Because, hey, man, it's to the point to where when I record, I told y'all I can't even watch it till the next day. I can't even delete it until the next day. You hear me? So it is what it is. Let's get back to it. Deuteronomy 32. I'm going to jump up to about 16. Let's just go up a little bit. Let's see, I'll provoke them. Okay. All right. Here we go. For they are a nation void of counsel. These people ruling do not seem too smart right now. And let's pause on that. Somebody please give me chapter, book, and verse that ever says Edom would have world dominion. See, these people don't have world dominion. What they have is control of the writing. That's what the writing is powerful, because what people read you can shape what people think based off just what they read. And that becomes powerful because, see, when we broke the covenant, we lost the ability to be the scribes of history. That got passed back on to them. See, all of that comes with the covenant. This is what it says. This is Deuteronomy 32. It says, for they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. I mean, that don't sound like these people today, y'all. It says, oh, that they were wise, they would understand this, and they would consider their later end, because they're going to be destroyed. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and Yahweh had shut them? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges, right? For their vine is the vine of Sodom and the fields of Gomorrah. It says their grapes are grapes of galls, and their clusters are bitter. Their vine, their family, their vine is from Sodom and Gomorrah. See, watch. A lot of people ain't peeped that. Watch this. Now you got to jump back. Genesis 10. around the 15th, 16th, around that verse. Okay, now look at this. Genesis 10:19. Now 10, 18, and 19. The Arvadite, the Zarmite, the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. Now watch this. And the border of Canaan was from Sidon. It cometh to Gir unto Gaza, and thou unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Edom and Zeboiim, even unto Lasha. You see them names? Sodom, Gomorrah, Edom, Zeboiim, even unto Lasha. Okay, now watch this. Watch this. Remember Genesis 9. Now, this is tricky right here. A lot of people have downplayed Genesis 9, and a whole lot of this history is right here. Now, I want you to really peep what's said. Now, and peep what's happening. Let's just go. Okay, now let's just start right here. And Noah began to be a husbandman. And we're going to deal with this too. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard and drunk of the wine and was drunken. And he was overcome within his tent, uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, or Chanaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon their shoulders and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and he knew what his younger son had done to him. And he said, curse this Canaan. I want you to really look at this, y'all. Curse this Canaan. Now, he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. Now listen what that said. A servant of servants. So that means Canaan ain't going to be the only servant. Really peep that. It said a servant of servants. So Canaan would have been took captive, or he would have paid tribute to somebody else who was paying tribute. And one more time. And he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants. He ain't the only fucking one, y'all. Now watch this. And don't tell me this ain't got something to do with of a sexual nature, because I'm going to prove that. And we ain't even got to jump right into Leviticus. We're going to prove that with the prophet mouth. And he said, blessed be Yahweh Elohim of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant, and Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Number one, it didn't say Shem was going to continue to dwell in the tents of Shem. That said Japheth will dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan will be the one servant. Who is that today? That's the Ashkenazi, and that's the Sephardi. One of them control the land, Ashkenazi. One of them control the right, Sephardi. Right? And remember, Canaan, they're Amorites. Sephardi are Amorites. Remember, don't ever think that's not the case. They are the Amorites under a different name. Still about to get in. Under a different name. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me check this one. Remember, I can't check it while I'm on here, so I'm gonna check it on the phone. But like I said, man, I definitely. So let's go back to this. Let me see. Okay, now watch. Let's get this, and let's prove that this curse is of a sexual nature, and the curse did not hit Ham, and the curse did not hit Father Canaan, but it hit his children. Because keep in mind, what does the book say? Visiting the iniquities to the third and the fourth generation, right? Now, if Canaan is cursed, and we know the curse passes down every 3 to 4 generations, right? Let's do some counting, y'all. Because this is easy. And this is why that name Amorite, and we're going to pull it up the easy way. Now watch this. Genesis 10, okay. Now look at Canaan's line. And Canaan begot Sidon, his first, and Heth, his second, the Jebusite, the third, and the Amorite, the fourth, visiting the iniquity to the third and the fourth generation. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, a generation could be 20 years. I understand that some people say that. Some people are going to say, well, a generation is that whole family line. I understand that. The point is, different people have different definitions for it. And we're thinking about today's definition. Remember, the word generation could also just mean for every child. Generation. You generate a child from sex, okay? Let's not be stupid on the wordplay, but we're going to clearly show the Amorite is the fourth son of Canaan, right? Who would catch the curse, right? I need to find this in Genesis. Now look at this. All right, boom. Genesis 48:22. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and my bow. You see this? This is Genesis, y'all. He's clearly telling you. He's took land out of the hand of the Amorite in Genesis. And this is Genesis 48. Okay? Not Exodus, not Leviticus, not Deuteronomy. This is Genesis, y'all. You dig that? Well, we're still forming up to be the complete 12 tribes at this time. So when Prophet Ezekiel is saying your father was an Amorite, your mother was a Hittite, he wasn't talking to us. He was flat foot talking to these people who was there before us, who we kicked out of the land. Now, I'm going to say this again. Somebody show me chapter, book, and verse where they threw Jacob out and they never seen him again. Because Ezekiel 16 clearly says they threw this child away. Right? Now watch this, y'all. Watch this. Let's show why Yahweh clearly said, don't mess. You know what? Let's get it. Let's get in the scroll first. And then it's probably going to reveal itself a little bit more. So now watch this. Watch this. All right. This is Leviticus 18, starting at verse number 3. And the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, ye shall not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I bring you, you shall not do, neither shall you walk in their ordinances. So that's the land of Egypt and Canaan. Now watch this. Oh man, well, man, y'all down talking so bad about Egypt and blah, blah, man. Watch this. Oh we, don't play. Don't play with me, man. Don't play. Yeah, I'm on pause once this commercial go through. They real good. Now every video you pull up got a commercial on it. Yet you was just watching the 30 minutes before you went live and it didn't. All praise to Yahweh for the beast system.
This is no one from nowhere, and you are, and I am a spirit of God. Today I want to talk to you about Egypt is named after the Anunnaki god Enki and Ptah, and also the story of the Anunnaki descendants. First, a joke. Why shouldn't you work for an Egyptian company? They're all pyramid schemes. Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High, El, or King Anu, divided the nations, he separated the sons of man, or Adam. He set the bounds of the masses according to the number in his heavenly court of Israel. And Enki is definitely one of the gods of Baal or Elohim. Enki is known as Ea in Sumerian, and Egyptian he is known as Ptah. In Semitic, he's known as Adoni. And in Greek, Poseidon, Roman, Vulcan, and Slavonic, Ogun. A brief story of the Anunnaki descendants after the flood. 12,500 years ago, the deluge ends and the Anunnaki, on Enlil's urging, divide the earth into regions. The valley drained by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which is today occupied primarily by the country of Iraq, will be allotted to Enlil and his children. Zuasurdra's sons, who is Noah, Utnapishtim, Shem, and Japheth, will dwell there. The peninsula that will be occupied millennia later, primarily by the country of Saudi Arabia, is given the name Tilman, the land of the missiles, and is assigned to Ninhursag. To the west, in the valley of the Nile River and stretching southward across the continent, which will later acquire the name of Africa, Enki and his son Marduk, or Amun-Ra, and their descendants, which will later acquire the name of Africa. Enki and his son acquire the name of Africa. The name of Africa. Enki and his son Marduk, or Amun-Ra, and their descendants take control. Zuasurdra's sons, Ham, makes his residence there.
Whoa, hey, wait a minute. He said Ham made his residence with the devil? Wait a minute. He just said Enki and them were going to Africa. Watch this.
Enki and his son Marduk acquire the name of Africa. Enki and his son Marduk, or Amun-Ra, and their descendants take control. Zuasurdra's sons, Ham, makes his residence there. Zuasurdra is Noah or Utnapishtim, so his son Ham resides with Enki. 10,500 descendants.
Ham resides with Enki. Now, can we find that in history? Can we find in African, so-called African history, anything of that nature? Because Enki is out the water, right? No matter what y'all see, you have to look and pay close attention. Enki's out the water, right? Now you see them fish around him, right? You see them waves, you see them fish, right? So he is out the water, right? Okay, cool. So do any Hamites got any history, their own history, not nobody else's? Do they have any history of dealing with people out the water? And guess what? A whole lot of y'all think I'm finna run to the doggone thing, the Nomo. Nope. Guess what? Type up Mami Wata. What the fuck is that? Mami Wata, a water spirit venerated in West Central Southern Africa and in the African diaspora in the Americas. Now, what the fuck is this, y'all? I want you to take a good look. This is the African mythology, not white folks, right? Oh, they made her black too. Ooh wee. Falling ain't about color, y'all. The curse is about color. This is African mythology, and this bitch got a serpent around her. Now, how much more do we need to talk about the serpent coming into the garden with a woman. Am I talking about that being just Africa? No, I'm not. But this is African mythology right here. Oh, okay. Mami Wata, y'all type it up just like it. So when these Pan-Africanists say you're African and they say the fallen don't exist, and they did, oh, okay, cool. Mami Wata is a water spirit venerated in West Central Southern Africa and the African diaspora. I don't need to hear that. The appearance of her ranges from her hair ranges from straight and curly, kinky black, combined with straight black. You see that? Most scholarly sources suggest that the name Mami Wata in pigment, English duration of the mother water, reflecting goddess title of mother of water. Mother of water. Okay, cool. So when this guy's clearly telling you Ham dwell with Enki, oh, okay, cool. And then my man, y'all, some of y'all know where I'm going, because too many people got this info. And then, you know what? And I'm going to decode this one for you today, because I meditated on this one. I meditated on this one for quite some time. Quite some time.
Friends, when it comes to mythological characters, we often fail to recognize who they really are, because they often portray spirit beings as members of a human family.
They often portray spirit beings as members of a human family. Okay, cool.
So you may be reading about the devil himself, all the while thinking that he is the brother of your favorite ancient hero. Now, irrespective of whether it is Greek or Indian mythology, the prominent characters are always from the family of Ham, the son of Noah, because those were the ones that turned their backs on God and started following the devil and his demons. For this cause, Noah cursed Ham and his family. Now, I have always claimed that the devil and his fellow rebels operate from the oceans. The Holy Bible further states that God's angels are going to attack the oceans at the end of our age as a punishment for all the evil they did to God's creation. Now, in Greek mythology, it's that God's angels are going to attack the oceans at the end of our age as from the oceans. The Holy Bible. Now, I have always claimed that the devil and his fellow rebels operate from the oceans. The Holy Bible further states that God's angels are going to attack the oceans at the end of our age as a punishment for all the evil they did to God's creation. Now, in Greek mythology, Poseidon is said to have built an underwater palace with a great pearl and coral throne. From all that we know, the one who built underwater palace is Lucifer the devil. There are wizards who have spent years in his high-tech realm, swapping their spirits with demons to keep their bodies alive when they are gone. Hinduism brags about this place, which it calls Patalok, being better than heaven. Now, another claim about Poseidon is that he created many curious forms of sea creatures. What they're talking about here are all the warm-blooded mammals still breathing air like humans, forced to live in the sea. I mean, all the flat-tailed creatures like whales, dolphins, seals, walruses, and all the rest. These demons altered them because they need warm blood at their doorsteps. Now, coming back to the story of Poseidon, He is also said to have invented the horse for his sister Demeter, whom he loved. We are aware of it. I explained it in my video titled, Horses Don't Belong to Earth. Apparently, this took place in the region of Arabian Peninsula. For this reason, God cursed the land of...
Wait a minute. Do y'all see this? They got wings on this fish. Is this not the actions of the fallen? Mixing one animal with another like the book of Enoch says? Is this not the actions of the fallen? Oh, wow. Praise Yahweh day and night.
Of Arabia, and it remains a desert even today. This is the reason as to why God forbade Israelites from breeding horses. This is why, as human being born versus Zeus was a human being born of Ham and Rhea and was brought up by Dionysus. However, in mythology, Poseidon is portrayed as his brother. It is true, Ham's family had sold their souls to the devil, but that will never make Zeus the brother to the devil. Souls to the devil, but that will never make Zeus the brother to the devil.
You know what? And I want to stop right there. And I'm going to tell y'all something. It took me quite a while to meditate on this. Check on the stream. It took me quite a while to meditate on this, y'all. Quite a while. And then I didn't get, and you got a lot of brothers be like, how did they come after the flood? Now, and I'm going to show this. We've shown this many times, but I'm going to point something out. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, and they became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that. Well, remember, a lot of times that word right there is the Nephilim, or in the earth, right? So a lot of people like, I don't get it. But see, the thing is, the Nephilim, after a point in time, even right here in this book, they're not even called the Nephilim anymore. And there are a few Nephilim in this book, and I'm not just talking about not the Rephaim. The Rephaim is Goliath. Goliath is a Rephaim. Not the Rephaim, the Nephilim. You know, the fallen exactly. See, they're under different names. I'm going to give you one. Let's get this one. See, where are we going to start? Let's start right here. See, they've been put under different names. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation? Now watch this. Watch this. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne in the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation on the sides of the north. What is it? Speaks. I'm going to just start right here. Let's start right here. Now watch this. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. See that? The king of Babylon, he's not talking about a human. See, they give these people titles to let you know something about them. This is not a human. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased? How has the golden city ceased? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the spectre of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger and persecuted none hindered. The whole earth is at rest. It is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow has come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It is stirred up, the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised them, it has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations, the chief ones of the earth. See, Lucifer, this king of Babylon, this is a Nephilim being spoke about. I hit strong. I ain't mean to do that. Let's go to another. Let's go to another Nephilim that's clearly talked about, and that is going to be, I believe this is 28. See, this is a Nephilim being talked about. Well, look at this. The word Tyre's king overthrown. So do I need to go to Ezekiel 27 first or Ezekiel 28? Let's see. Lament over Tyre. I'm going to go to Ezekiel 28. I'm going to do Ezekiel 28. Okay, look at this. Ezekiel 28:12. Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say to him, thus said Yahweh Elohim, thou sealest up the sum, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering: sardis, topaz, the diamond, beryl, onyx, jasper, sapphire, the emerald. It says the carbuncle, and gold, the workmanship of thy timbrels. It says, and thy pipes were prepared in thee in the day that thou was created. It says, thou art the anointed cherub. This is not a man. This is what they call a high holy one. This is a fallen, just going under the name, the king of Tyre. One more time. Thou art the anointed cherub, not man, that covenant. It says, I have set thee so. Thou was upon the holy mountain of God. See? You see that? Because why? When man was created, you was created, and your ass was right on the earth. You were created in the spirit, but not in heaven. Not in heaven. Let's get that clear, y'all. One more time. Thou art the anointed cherub. It did not say man. See, when Genesis 6:4 said the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and afterward, this is one of them. See, they just don't go under Nephilim no more. This is clearly not a man. The king of Tyre is, there's no way you are a man and thou art an anointed cherub. That covereth, I have set thee so. Thou was upon the holy mountain of God. Thou walkest up and down the midst of stones of fire. You think this a man still? Look at this. Thou was perfect in thy ways from the day of that was created till iniquity was found in thee. What is the iniquity found in thee? The iniquity is y'all wanting man and woman. Y'all wanting to come here to mix your seed with man and woman. That is the iniquity. Hold on. I believe that's say I want to say is that 16. Y'all being so funny. You know what? Let me show you this. I might have spelling it wrong. This raw, y'all. Ain't no rehearsal. Ain't no rehearsal. When you go to this word folly, a lot of y'all would actually think that definition is foolishness. But the definition of folly also has to do with sexual deviancy, perversion, and sexuality also is what folly represents. Y'all can look that up in your own time. But he's clearly telling you that the angels, what does it say, Genesis 6:4, wanted woman, right? Let me see. Shalom, people. Hey, yeah, man, we're just sitting here just getting it in, y'all, getting it in. But, though, and this is not about a hatred against Hamites. This is about the solid core truth. This is about the solid core truth that you just keep on being avoided. I'm sorry, that you keep being lied to about. There are name changes in history. If y'all want to get it, if brothers want some of this personal information, I got to go back and do the label, but I will find it. I'm going to help point out a few things. This should help a few people out when you're looking at history. Now watch this. How these people have changed their names so many times, man. Check this out. When you see this, in fact, it's this one right here. I want to say somewhere timestamp around 19 to 29 minutes. It clearly tells you, if you watch enough of these about the sea people, it's going to admit to you, these are the Canaanites. These are the Canaanites, y'all. When you got a certain point of history, they started calling them the Phoenicians. What are Phoenicians? Phoenicians are merchants. What are merchants? What are Canaanites also called? The merchants. What are the Phoenicians known for? Maritime situation, always being on the water, right? What are the sea people? Always on the water. They're the Canaanites, y'all. They just changed their name in history. Now, if y'all brothers want me to go back and label and get you that information, I will. I don't have the time right now. I'm too far into this. The sea people are nobody but the Canaanites. That's all that be about, y'all. And this is why they always, every time you want to go into the history, what they need to do, see, they can't change history for what it is because too many people are too many witnesses. But if they change their name in history, then it leaves a void right there. You will always get this little void. And this is the problem with our history. Because like I said, so many people have been lying about our history. It's monumental. You know, let me stop ranting on that. But the Canaanites are the sea people. There's no way around that, y'all. No way around it. And guess what? For anybody who still think the Canaanites is melanated people, which they was melanated at one time, but they lost it. Hey, follow the money, right? All you got to do is follow the money, right? Watch this. Sidon ancient coins, right? So what is because I learned something. When Alexander the Great, y'all can look this up. When Alexander the Great was on his tirade, he actually employed men from Sidon to print up his money. So what does the old thing say? If you want to find it, do what? Follow the money, right? Follow the money. What the fuck is that? You see this? Ancient Sidonian money. Look at these faces. These ain't melanated people, man. Phoenicia. Phoenician money. Money. You see that? Follow the money. That's all you have to do. See, and remember, ain't that talked about in the book of Ezekiel? Didn't Ezekiel tell you that these people had silver and gold, right? Right? That's right in the Let me see. That's right in the book of Ezekiel. Let's just see. All praise to Yahweh for that, man. Let's see, 11. Okay. Let me see. The inhabitants of Zidon and Arvad. This is Ezekiel 27:8. The inhabitants of Zidon and Arvad were thy mariners. It says, thy wise men, O Tyrus, that were in thee, and thy pilots, the ancients of Gabal, the men therefore with the caulkers, the ships of the sea with their mariners, to occupy thy merchandise. They of Persia, Lud, Put, were thy army, men of war. They hang the shield and the helmet. They set forth thy comeliness, men of Arvad. It says, were in thy army upon the walls round about, Gramindians and the towers, and they hang their shields upon the walls round about, and they have made beauty. Tarshish was thy merchant by reason of multitude and all kind of riches, silver, iron, lead, traded in fairs. Yes, they did. Yes, exactly, they did. Let's see. It's gonna pop me up to Phoenician coins. See this? Sidon, Phoenicia, 435, 420 BC. Just like I told y'all, these people was already printing their money well before Alexander the Freak came in. This is Sidonian money. Yes, money, money, money. If you want to know, follow the money. And you ain't going to find a melanated person on none of this shit. None. Look, 44 AD. Look who's on the Sidonian coin. 44 AD. Still ain't no melanated people. Still don't get it. Now, this is the money of the Sidons. And guess what? Sidon, Phoenicia, Sidon, Phoenicia, Canaanites. Fuck you don't get. It's the same people. Same people. Just changing their name in history. That's all that be about, y'all. Boom. Of Sidon, Phoenicia. Why are they always beside? Because they're the same people. Trying to drive this point home. Let me see. Coins, Alexander the Great. Oh, look, ancient Greek coins, Sidonian coin archive, right? Same ones, same exact ones. Look at these faces. Remember, Sidon is not listed upon one of the 7 nations that had to be kicked out. They are not listed. Look. Let's go. And I've shown this before. I rarely ever go to this, but for edification purposes, sometimes it's good to do. So I'm going to go to Luke, the 4th chapter. I'm going to jump down. Okay, this is Luke 4, and I'm starting at 24. And he said, verily, I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country, right? But I tell you of a truth, Many widows were in Israel in those days of Elias. And it says, and when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when the great famine throughout all the land. But unto none of them was Elias sent unto Sepulchre. It says, the city of Sidon, unto a woman there was a widow. And many lepers were in Israel at the time of Elias and the prophet, and none of them was cleansed, saving Naaman the Syrian. And they in the synagogue, you know, these white folks, when they heard these things, they were filled with wrath. Why are you filled with wrath? Because you're mad. Because the high priest at the time told y'all there were many lepers in Sidon. Okay? And when they of the synagogue, remember that wasn't us, when they heard these things, they were filled with wrath. You know, and we're going to show you why. I'm going to show y'all why. And they rose up and thrust him out of the city. They ran his ass about the city and led him unto the brow of a hill whereon the city was built, that they might cast him down headlong. So when the high priest told them, hey, these Sidonians, they're lepers, and they kinfolks, their ancestors was lepers. They got mad, tried to run him out the city. And the intent was to go him up to a mountain and throw him off a mountain. Now, why is that so important, y'all? I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all. Some of y'all already know I'm going to the old man. Yeah, some of y'all already know.
Hi, my name is Neb Kabusen Atumori, and this is the 8th video. No, Alium El breathed into man, and thus he became a living spirit. Genesis 2:7. The breath of Anunnaki. These 200 fallen, disagreeable Nibiru caused mischief in the heavens, therefore they were cast down to earth. The physical curse meant that a race of beings would manifest.
What is it at?
Came out of curses from God. Most, their bodies are
oh, okay, right here.
Why all these races of melanin recessive peoples hate you? Nubians, they all came out of curses from God. Most, their bodies are housed by demons, the 200 fallen disagreeable from Peking, China. These are your Oriental Mongolian race today. So now, do you see why all these races of melanin recessive peoples hate you, Nubians? They all came out of curses from God. Most, their bodies are housed by demons, the 200 fallen disagreeable. Melanin recessive peoples hate you, Nubians. They all came out of curses from God. Most, their bodies are housed by demons, the 200 fallen disagreeable Elohim, cherubim, Nibiru, that followed Halal, who changed from...
You hear what he said? He said, do you understand why most of the people of melanin recessiveness hate you? It all comes out of curses from God. Most, he didn't say all, most of their bodies house demons. The 200 fallen. That's powerful, man. Fuck, none of y'all say.
Why all these races of melanin recessive peoples hate you, Nubians? They all came out of curses from God. Most, their bodies are housed by demons, the 200 fallen disagreeable Elohim, cherubim, Nibiru, that followed Halal, who changed from...
Okay, I'm going to stop. Let me see. Can I pull it up right here? I gotta get it. I gotta just get it right out of his shit. It's gonna be a lot easier doing it like it. And I think I'm gonna wrap this up after this, y'all. I think I'm gonna wrap this up right after this, because man, me and my brother Judah have went over one of these parts, and I'm gonna just say this. This might be one of the most learned people I ever came across. He mentioned something that is so controversial, like you can't look by it. He also mentions the fact that we all ran back into Africa, and how there was two priesthoods, how Solomon started a priesthood and the Levites still had a priesthood. That's real deep, man, but we're going to have to come back to that because, like my brother Judah will confirm, that's facts, man, but some of that just literally about, going into the language, going into brothers who applied themselves to such a degree. But I want y'all to see this one, though, and I think I'm going to end after this one.
My name is Neb Camus Sen Atumari, and this is the 6th video in the series 200 Fallen Angels, the Science of the Curse. Loham, the son of Utnapishtim Noah, allowed his countenance to drop and was in a weak state after an argument he just had with his wife Halima, daughter of Anis and Shakar. It was easy for the devil to possess him in his weak state of mind. Thus, Iblis sent one of his disagreeable beings in the form of Anak, the queen of Nod, to Ham and possessed him. Ham, while in his father's tent, mocked his father's nakedness, and he looked upon the nakedness of his father with a thought of sexuality and fornication.
Oh, wait. He said with a thought of sexuality and fornication. Let me get back to that. Before we finish this, I'm sorry. I said the prophet. Let's get this from the prophet mouth. When we talk about Genesis 9, now I want you to listen to what the prophet says, because the prophet gives you this history again. This is Ezekiel 22. Now listen to what he says. Okay, listen to this. Ezekiel 22:10. In thee they have discovered their father's nakedness. Sound like Genesis 9, don't it? One more time. In thee they have discovered their father's nakedness. In thee they have humbled her. You see that? They have humbled her that was set apart for pollution. And one hath committed an abomination with his neighbor's wife, and another hath lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law, and another in thee hath humbled his sister and his father's daughter. You see that? So don't tell me that shit ain't about some kind of sexual nature. That's Ezekiel 22, 10 through 12. Let's go back.
Father, although Ham was not acting on his own will, he still violated the laws of Anu, the Most High. These feelings of sexuality and fornication existed before the time of the flood with the Hindus who came from Nirvana.
Whoop! With the Hindus. Now remember, wait. In Hinduism, Ham name is Kamadeva. That's who he is in Hinduism. They know him as Kamadeva, right? Now I'm going to show you something. And remember, all you got to do is look at the pictures. Let's do this. For y'all who don't get it. What they always say, man, that boy so black, he blue. Right? That's all that means. When you see these blue pictures, that's a black ass dude. That's all that's about. Okay? Kamadeva is Ham from the Bible. Right? Now remember, Ham's sexual nature, right? Now, what is also known in that place? Now remember, Kama is Ham, right? Y'all know where I'm going. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Kama Sutra, right? Now remember, The elder is telling you Ham had this sexual nature, overly sexual nature. Ham in India, his name is Kama or Kamadeva. Now, what is Kama Sutra? This old freak shit that they got depicted everywhere in India, where we knew Ham went and took over and kicked some of our brothers out too. Let's go back.
After Ham had opened himself up by having an argument with his wife, Halima, he allowed Anak, the queen of the disagreeable Allahum, to possess him. When Utnapishtim, Noah, awoke from his sleep, he
Ooh, no, so wait. He said the fallen sent the woman to Ham, right? What? Her? Mama Wata? You know, the one they talk about in they history? You know, this mermaid fallen. See, this is the fallen, y'all. This is the fallen. Everybody think the fallen got wings and this and that. No. No.
immediately what his son had done to him. Therefore, he placed a curse on Ham's fourth son, who was called Lebanah or Canaan in the Bible. The curse was not put on Ham, as many have thought or led to believe, but on his fourth son, Lebanah. Utnapishtim told Ham, the curse will be upon your son Canaan, who was originally named Lebanah by his parents, Ham and Halima, at his 8th-day birth ceremony, in which a child receives their name. Lebanah's name was later changed to Canaan by the Plugal rods when he moved from the lowland to the caves. This curse was placed on Lebanah, Canaan, until the day of judgment. The physical curse meant that a race of beings would manifest in the physical with the spirit of demons. This race of beings, lepers, didn't manifest until the birth of Lebanah. He was named Lebanah because he was pale and white like snow. Later, he was called Canaan, the grandson of Utnapishtim. As you have seen, the formation of some of the Caucasians are a result of the physical curse, leprosy, that was placed on Lebanah. However, not all of the Caucasians came from leprosy. You have 3 types of Caucasians, and they are blonde hair, blue eyes, red hair, green eyes, and dark hair, dark eyes. This curse that was placed on Lebanah, Canaan, was also a genetic one, which means that it took place in the genes of man. This was the removal of his melanin, which cut off his family ties with the Anunnaki. This is a genetic disorder called albinism. For a person to be born with albinism, both parents must be albinos. It affects 1 out of every several thousand human and animals. This is because both parents do not possess any of the dominant genes. The science of heredity in human genetics explores the transmission of physical traits and other characteristics of parents to their offspring. The basic units in the complex process called genes, and these make up the chromosomes. The basic chemical of the gene DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, enables humans to carry all the information of the heredity. The chromosomes occur in pairs. Normally, each of us have 23 pairs of chromosomes. The sex chromosomes carry genes that determine the other characteristics. Because these others are in the sex chromosomes, the characteristics they determine are called sex-linked characteristics. Laban Canaan became an albino because both of his parents had recessive genes. Ham and Halima, his parents, were descendants of the Kuthites. Let us take a look at the genealogy of Laban. Laban's parents, as stated earlier, were Ham and Halima. Ham was the son of Utnapishtim and Naamah. Naamah was the daughter of Unaim and Sakhinah, who were both of the Kuthite tribe from the land of Ashur. Halima was the daughter of Anis and Shachar, Ubin. Ubin was an Enosite and Anis was a Kuthite. Remember Genesis chapter 9, 24 and 25, after Ham had committed the sin of looking at his father Utnapishtim, the friend of God, who was perfect in his generation and who walked with God, Genesis 6:9, Utnapishtim told him that a curse would be placed on his fourth son, Laban, Canaan. If you read on later, in the next verse, you will see where Utnapishtim includes in his condemnation Yahweh Elohim. And he told Ham that Laban, Canaan, shall be a servant unto his brethren. At this point, Ham was terrified, and this affected his nervous system, which carries messages to the brain, and affected his pineal gland, which produces the melanin. Stress and fear can cause many complications in the way a person's body may respond. In humans, if danger is perceived, the pituitary gland releases a hormone called adrenocorticotropic hormone, stimulating or acting on the adrenal cortex. This hormone in turn triggers the adrenal glands to release epinephrine, known to most as adrenaline, which is a hormone secreted by the adrenal medulla that is released into the bloodstream in response to physical or mental stress, as from fear or injury. Stress and fear shifts blood flow and energy to the brain.
Wait, hey, quick. How many of y'all old enough to remember seeing them movies when the monster jumped out and scared everybody in the room and they all their hair turned white?
And these effects are all results of what doctors call the fight or flight response of the body when it is confronted with a threatening situation. Thus, a person in a physically or mentally dangerous situation is said to be under stress, as in the case of Ham when he was approached by the Elohim. If a person goes into a state of shock or fear, which is something that would lead them to be stressed, there are two things that may happen. One is the oversecretion of the melanocyte stimulating hormone, MSH, by the pituitary gland, which results in brown skin. Or two, the lack of the secretion of the melanocyte stimulating hormone, which would result in white or pale skin coloration. major effect on the skin. Leprosy produces granular lesions in affected areas of the skin. That's why they call it leprosy, leprosy. You will find that when you see a person with a rash or some kind of skin disorder, that it comes from being stressed out.
Facts.
Not sleeping or eating improperly or being tensed the majority of the time. Any doctor will tell you that most skin problems stem from stress. That is why when people suffer from skin disorders such as seborrhea, eczema, psoriasis, herpes, etc., they usually don't break out until they become stressed out. So you can't tell me that you can't catch a malignant disease, which is spoken of in Leviticus 13:2, from stress. The Torah gives various accounts of the signs and symptoms of leprosy, of what leprosy actually looks like. Leprosy affects the skin, the eyes, and the mucous membranes of the nose and throat. It mainly affects the nerves. So it is nothing new to say that stress can affect your nervous system, which in turn will affect your skin. It is medically and scientifically proven. That is why when you get a cold or scared, you sometimes feel your skin crawling, or you get what is called, or what they call, goosebumps, or the hair on your arm stands up. It is all linked to the nervous system. There is a saying that goes, I was scared pale. Ham was stressed at this moment in his life. He was what you would call a manic depressive. And it is a known fact that stress can cause skin defects, because what affects your nerves can affect your skin. If a regular person could scare pale, just imagine what would happen if the unknown was made known to you. And that is exactly what happened when the Elohim stepped in. It scared Ham pale. But this didn't happen to him physically. It affected his genes. And it came out in his fourth son, Lebanah, Canaan. Because Ham was scared to the point where it affected his genes, it caused his child to be born melanin recessive. As was mentioned previously, the curse that was placed on Lebanah, Canaan, was a genetic curse, which means it took place in the genes of man. In the case of Ham, the curse that was placed on him would only show up on his fourth offspring, which was Lebanah. Genes are part of chromosomes, which are made up of DNA. DNA controls the inherited traits of man, animal, and plants, which are responsible for almost all the features that make you look different from anyone else. The composition of all your body organs is governed by your intelligence. In the nucleus of every cell in your body, there are at least 1 million strands of DNA. Altogether, they do much to decide what you look and think like. It is in the fourth generation of animals and plants that the recessive traits show up. That is why the result of Ham's stress showed up in his fourth son, because as it says in the degree of Exodus, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
All right, with that said, we're going to stop this right here and probably going to go ahead and end this on out. But definitely want to say, give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh. There is no other God. You know, I just want to say, man, food for thought is grounds for further research. And, you know, it's amazing, you know what I'm saying, what these people say. And like I said, I've been seeing what people been saying and doing. You know, I felt like, you know what, it's time to put one in. And, you know, it is what it is. But if y'all brothers, any brothers got anything, man, anything y'all want to do or y'all want to drop, let's go ahead and congregate in the chat and we'll go ahead and put that together. You know, but I just want to cover some things real quick in the summary. It never said Edom had world dominion. I've never seen that scripture. Never. Now, there is some scriptures that tells who would inherit the earth. And I ain't talking about Job 9:24, the earth given into the hand of the wicked. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the Chaldean, like that's mentioned in one of the prophetic books. And it said they would inherit the breadth of the earth. And so a lot of times, you know, when you're looking at history and everything, man, you really just got to go to multiple sources. And especially if they have different names listed for them, look up the different names also. And you will get more of their history. The people who are in control of the writing, I promise y'all, man, these people go back to the Tower of Babel. But we're going to come back there to another day, man. I want to say all praise to Yahweh. Definitely praise Yahweh day and night. And like I said, brothers, man, we'll go ahead and congregate and we'll get something going. But until then, shalom.